fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field.
Yo, I'm missing my song, man.
Oh, it's like it.
Fuck how a house nigga feel.
Did you just say what I was trying to say, but smarter?
Yo, let me get that one more time. I
No,
love that shit. I like this shit,
See,
man.
y'all think it's just about us in here, but this is about the person. But us just have to die to keep niggas down and shit. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that. What about you, little nigga? You know about that?
Yes.
Oh, you know about that? Tell me what you know about that. Tell me what you think about that.
I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light skinned nigga, you gon' find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. Belly of the beast, we been living in hell. They like, damn, Kai, how could you tell? Put us in the project, set us up to fail. Round here, bullets be flying like hell. Too many of my niggas either dead or in jail. Make a nigga work when you locked in a cell. Can't find work when you out on bail, but your homie got the work, so we passed you a scale. Got them birds like the Bible got quail. Niggas selling out cause their mama got bills. Turning the coons like Oprah and Gail. How you sell your soul just to get a little kill? They put you in a dress when you get a record deal. Wanna see a nigga getting high on pills? You can dance on the pole, you can sell that tail, but they never tell a nigga that he can go to Yale. We all pretty equal, that's white males. All lives matter, not black males. Another mother crying, another coffin got a nail. How many brothers out here got killed? How many of our sisters out here gotta heal? How many more caps gotta get peeled? We beef with each other so quick to pull a steel. George Zimmerman still alive and well. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light skinned niggas, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field.
That's our
This for
Christians
my
looking
niggas
at
that
us
nail
like
on the
chill.
field. Like chill. Find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that nail on the field. Light skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. Yo, chill.
Industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and
chill.
private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
They just want us to die in silence. They just want us to die in silence. I might start me a fucking riot. Slave rebellion, no compliance. They just want us to die in silence. They murder minds like they got a license. I pray for the coronavirus to kill all of these violent tyrants. They prey on us like they're poaching lions. World War III's on the horizon. Black and Hispanics form alliance. From the west coast to the islands, this pressure is making diamonds. They go waking sleeping giants. I turn up when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the the field. Light-skinned nigga, you can find me in the field. House niggas looking at a nigga like chill. I go hard when it's real in the field. This for my niggas that kneel on the field. Light-skinned nigga, find me in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feels. I turn up when it's real in the field. I don't give a fuck how a house nigga feel.
Nigga, did you just say what I was trying to say for smart? I like this little nigga.
We keep it going out of one.
Yeah, we'll let this one go.
Travel time.
Purchase your tracks today.
Know the people been waiting for a minute for something authentic. Came in the truth and bossed in it. Made niggas regroup. Had to shed light on the false image. UPK whole court. Now who the fuck wanna scrimmage 2 words for song?
You ain't got no song out of work?
Good riddance. No affiliate.
If I could, I don't want. I left my wallet at the house.
You don't stop that weak shit. I'ma mix your lean with some grimlock. When the next time you heard it this real. When I falls with the earth, I'm just by the bitch fall. You in the war, them the ones I'm taking risks for. Ain't got no fix or no cars at home. Holy angels watch my steps and block down my soul. Can't let them leave my body cold. I know you feel me, nigga. Let the wicked weak and the leak over 50-50. I said now I'm working to sell. Let the righteous cry. Silence up a sinner, a rebel without a cause. As long as I remember that taking the kingdom, the only thing on my agenda. Can't avoid me, nigga. Middle finger to the ones that try to destroy me. Revenge of beauty, I'm a beast. I told that bitch she can't eat, let she join me for dinner. My God ain't got no regard for a sinner. One call fall on them like timber. I know you feel me, nigga. In the eyes of terror, I stand still. Go to work for the colony, bring it back to the anvil. Puts everything I drop heavy as an anvil. Show you how to stand like a man in this damn field. I know you feel me, nigga. Fucking quality, it gotta be one man win and the rest lose. Ways devastating, I'm calculating my next move. You became a real nigga, seek refuge. Body shots for cause, that'll get you bruised. My niggas home ranker, check your little attitude. I came to fuck with your move on your little holiday like I'm Mr. Scrooge. Resurrected from the grave, walking from the fall. Bitches in my eyes, gripping the mic. Screaming, God bless the underdog, down by the letter. And live by that protocol, walk by faith, not by sight. Ain't no open get struggles. Life like I'm a war resist, but get born into a world that never left. I will endure, intellectually, law correction will be swift. No Will Smith, but I am blessed. What else would you call the killer of deception? A leader got soldiers on post in every direction. On go like a German shepherd, young and a restless, honor like a diamond necklace. I know you feel me, nigga.
Minute.
Purchase your tracks today.
So like this shit, bro.
Purchase your tracks. All right, we ready. As soon as you go off, let's get it. All right. We good? Hey, Shalom Israel, Yahabai Shem Yahshai Baraka Thom, Yahal Shemala Thun, Bashem Yahshai, ISUPK Indianapolis, you understand? ISUPK under Commander G. Hunter been bringing out this truth since 1969. Got my main man, Officer Umar in the house, you know what I mean? Been on a little hiatus, he back in black. Well, he got on something other than black, but that's what's up, man. You already know how we get down. Listen, it's the Wednesday night law class where we discuss the law as it pertains to the Bible. Right? You so keen on following the laws of man, how about try serving the Lord, man? How about understanding that the laws is not done away with? And without the laws, you have no moral compass. You don't know what to do. You don't know right from wrong. You see a fine sister and she's married, you like, oh man, That's less trouble for me. Let me see if I can knock that out and then hit it and quit it.
Right.
You understand? Our whole MO is to hit it and quit it. Sisters, you just, you don't want to be tied down to one man. You're a strong, independent woman.
Right.
You strong and independent, and you just going out to whore yourself. Right? So we got a society of brothers who want to hit it and quit it, and sisters who too strong and proud to be held down by one man.
Right.
Is this everyone? No, this is not everyone, but this is definitely a problem in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, which is all I give a damn about. I don't give a damn about what's going on in the oppressors community, or with the East Indians, or with the Arabs, or the Africans, or the Chinese, the Japanese. I don't give a damn what's going on with them.
Right.
You understand? I don't care. They can eat bat, rat, cat, pangolin, whatever they want to eat. Whoever they want to sleep with, long as it's not my people.
Right.
I don't give a damn about none of that. I only care about the people that's dying and suffering every day due to oppression that are Israelites. Right?
I'm right.
Any questions online? Or do you have any questions, any scriptures you want to ask about?
No,
I no sweat. Well, today, I led with what I led with because what's coming up this weekend on the park. So you in the truth, you can forget about
you forgot
about all this.
Hey, hold on, I'm trying to figure. I'm figuring out, do we got something to do this
Just
weekend?
think about what month you in.
Salakia, Valentine's Day, I don't want. Salakia.
Valentine's Day.
Damn, I don't want.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Right.
Valentine's Day is coming up, and I just, you got your mic?
Kind of one. Salakia.
If you could, since it's, what I'm saying, ain't nobody got no questions. What do you remember about Valentine's Day growing up? Just, what I'm saying, you ain't got to go super deep into it, just, briefly.
Salakia, the one. What I remember about Valentine's Day, that you gotta get that woman. It don't matter if she hates y'all, if y'all fighting, you doing whatever you could to please that woman or your mother. I really never really celebrated. I was young at the time, but I remember seeing everybody around me. They had to do that. Like, you gotta do it. You gotta how you say it? Like, you gotta give that woman a gift. She could be wicked to you all year long and all that, and then all of a sudden Valentine's come, you gotta give her something. She don't even deserve nothing.
And you gotta flip it too. The brothers, like, there's a lot of different ways, right, that Valentine's Day is antichrist or against the scriptures, right?
Right.
Like, okay, find me the scripture, right, where it says, Christ, love ye husbands, love your wife, right? That's in 1 Peter's. 1 Peter's, the second chapter. 1 Peter's, the second chapter. Maybe yes or no. Hold on. 1
Peter 3:7 out of 1.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's get 1 Peter's chapter 3, verse 7. Hold on. No, I don't think that's. Yeah, no, I'll take that one.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them.
You always say that. Dwell.
Salakia. How you say that?
Dwell.
Mm-hmm. Dwell with them according to knowledge.
What does it mean to dwell with your wives according to knowledge?
To teach them out of one.
That's essentially it right there. That's essentially it. So you said several things in there. We're gonna touch on several other things that you mentioned, right? Right. So husbands are supposed to teach their wives, right? And of course, all of us being lost here in America, we don't know any better. We think that Valentine's Day is something so special and so sweet.
Right.
Keep going.
giving honor unto the wife
Uh-huh.
as unto the weaker vessel.
Right. By nature, right? By the Most High's design, the woman is the weaker vessel, right? Not just physically, but like a lot of times, a man's spirit is going to be stronger, right? The Lord made him to be, have that warrior spirit, where a woman is supposed to be more loving, more caring, more nurturing. But don't get it twisted. Israel women are still strong as hell in the spirit. You understand? They still have very strong wills, which is why we're at odds, in the households. You understand? Go ahead.
And as being hers,
Heirs.
so like heirs,
Heirs.
Uh-huh. Together of the grace of life,
Uh-huh.
that your prayers be not hindered.
Right. So you should be praying. I say all that to say we got to teach our wives, right? And you mentioned one thing in there. You said, sometimes, Valentine's Day was that time of year where even if a woman didn't deserve it, right, you go out and you spend money. It's kind of like Christmas, right? Where kids, they may not deserve all those things that you're going broke for, but you're going to do it because the spirit of Christmas, because you're expected to. Because if you don't, you're a bad father according to this society. Same thing with Valentine's Day. If you don't go and get something, right, or show that person that you love them, right, then you're not being sweet. Right. And on the flip side, brothers would, I say this, I read that scriptures like, brothers, you should always love your woman. You got a woman, you should always love that woman. Not to say that, you got to be going out and buying all these expensive gifts to show you love her, but there's always acts of kindness that you can do, massage, one rose. If you ain't got bread to go and spend, on a bouquet of roses, you can buy one rose, or you can go pick a rose somewhere for free, or you can make something. Women love that. They like frou stuff. You know what I mean? And so this whole concept is you got to wait for a specific day to go and show your love to a woman. That's, that's something that Esau is forcing down your throat. Right. And we're going to get into some of the details. Another thing that you said, right, is that a lot of times the son is expected to be, to have the mother and maybe even the grandmother. It's like, they ain't got no man, so this is my Valentine. That is right. That is something that you shouldn't do, ladies. If you run across this video, don't make your son be a Valentine Day. Furthermore, first of all, don't celebrate Valentine's Day to begin with. Right. But if you're gonna do it, your son is not your Valentine. You understand? Your son is not responsible for, nurturing your feelings, for all the man that you didn't chase away. That's not his role in life. Like, in fact, you should be teaching him that Valentine's Day is wicked and anti-Christ, and you shouldn't be doing it. But your son was not put here so he could comfort you for all your bad relationships, right? Your son is there so he can serve the Lord and not celebrate Valentine's Day. You was gonna say something?
Okay. And the same time as you buying them gifts for your wives and stuff, so is the side nigga. I done seen it many times in the world. You buying them gifts and so is another man. And like, it's crazy. It's a wicked spirit behind it.
Well, I mean, that's a whole nother, that's a whole nother can of worms. It's like now you get into a woman being a whore, right? You're dealing with more than one man at a time. You are a whore according to the Bible. It's not my definition. Actually, I concur with that definition, but that's not my definition. I didn't come up with it. If you're dealing with more than one man at a time, right, or if you have a man now and you leave him, right, you're going against the scriptures. Right. All right. So, and anything else about your experience with Valentine's Day?
So, like, I really wasn't, my mom was in the truth.
You got the mic on?
Oh, so like, not really, because at that time, my mom was teaching me about it. I wasn't listening, but
listen, Most High in Christ for at least her, because those words planted a seed, whether you know it or not. All the things that you was running off and going and doing, she planted a seed in you, which is what we do in the ISUPK all the time. We plant seeds in the people in the street. How many brothers have you heard in the school say, man, even General Muhammad himself, he was like, man, I fought the truth for 2 years. Right. Heard it from the brothers and fought not to come in here and now look at them. Right. Damn. Right. So, right. You understand? So what we do, whether we know it or not, we have to keep doing it because we planting seeds in people. Even the people that walk past and do this, they don't want to hear. They don't want nothing to do with it. These Christians, even though some of them may never heed the word, they may never, that seed that we sowed in them, it may never sprout. But guess what? It's still our job to go and do it. You understand?
So like, if it could,
Go ahead.
I used to talk trash about the ISUPK.
A lot of people.
Man, they smoking weed ain't in the Bible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she told me, like, it's in the Bible.
Mhm.
Like, she know, because I was hard-headed, you know? And I put her through some things, you know, but it kept doing. I still would watch videos when I was, you know,
Right.
messing up real bad. I would still go to ISUPK,
Right.
you know, to make me feel better.
Now imagine if she never told you that, you know, Valentine's Day was wrong.
Right.
Imagine
right.
she never told you that, and you just grew up thinking it was fine. You may have never even came into the truth.
Right, right.
Like those people that we run across on the street, we may prophesy unto them, you know, this week, next week, the week after that, and they may not come in if your house shine not back. They may not come in for 10 years.
Right.
But on that 10th year, on that 11th year, they may come in.
Right,
like, man,
right.
I remember y'all. I ran across y'all 10 years ago, and I couldn't do it. Now I'm at a point in my life, man, where I ain't got nothing left. I need this. You know what I mean? So what we do is essential. You know what I mean? Us up here saying don't celebrate Valentine's Day because it's against the Lord is essential to our people's salvation. You understand? So, but I just want to give real quick an account of my memories of Valentine's Day before we kind of get into some of the history of Valentine's Day and bring out some more scriptures. So, honestly, when I was in the world and I was young, like when I got older, it was a kind of a big deal, but not really. I wasn't always pressured into buying gifts. But one of the things I remember is Valentine's Day parties when I was a kid.
And in school, it's cool.
That's what I'm talking about.
Damn right.
When I was a kid, you go to school and have all the snacks in the world, all kind of candy,
Right.
and you also got that little girl, that you had your eye on in class. You slipped her a Valentine, you know what I mean? Put something special in there, and they used to have these things called candy grams,
Right,
where you
right.
can go to the office and you can pay like $1.50, and you send somebody. It didn't matter what class they was in. You can like from your secret admirer. So
Right, right.
it was real fun. You know, the way Esau got it set up when you were a kid and you don't know no better. It's real fun because it's, you know, it's all kind of candy around it. It's all kind of little cards, little, you know, Valentine's Day cards, and the whole, even when you're young, you like, you know, thinking about girls. You in,
Right,
you know,
right.
you're in elementary. So all those things mixed together, you like, man, it's the Valentine's Day, the bomb. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was kind of my experience. And then when I got older, it was like I never really, you know, I wasn't the type that had to get my mom, you know, she with my dad, been with my dad, so you know he was there. But I wasn't the type that, you know, had to go out and run out and buy all these gifts for different girls. I think I did on occasion, but I'm pretty cheap in general, so that wasn't, you know, my experience. But I do know of brothers that say, you know, yeah, you know, I've been in the doghouse, you know, this day I'm showing out. You know, I got the dinner, the candlelight, you know, the music, rose petals on the bed, you know what I mean? All this thing,
God.
all in the whole spirit. And look, don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with going all out for your woman. But what we're gonna find out today is the reason you're doing it, right? The reason you're doing it is wrong. There's nothing wrong with you pampering your woman. In fact, the Christ said to love your wife like he has loved you, right? We should be loving our wives, kissing on them, making them feel good, happy, rubbing their feet. All that stuff is essential to, you know, a woman is like sensual things, where a man, you know, oh, baby, give me a beer, you know what I mean? Let me get a plate of food. You Gucci, you know what I mean? But women, they need something more. They need to be told that they're loved. They need to be caressed. They need to be, you know, massages and all those special things every once in a while, a nice car or, you know, some flowers or something like that, because those things, you know, they're more tied to you thinking about them. Not saying that all of them want you to go and spend a bunch of money, but they just like little acts of kindness, you know what I mean? Where for you, it's not, you know, man, we not kind of, most of us ain't really built that way. You know what I mean? You give me some food and some drink, you know what I mean? I'm kicked back in a recliner, I'm Gucci, you know what I mean? Right. So, but the reason that people celebrate Valentine's Day is, you know, because Esau's pushed it down our throat. Right. So that was essentially my experience with Valentine's Day. Now let's get a little bit of history on Valentine's Day and why is Antichrist. And while I'm pulling up the history, see if you can find Valentine's Day candy sales 2020. Just Google something like that. Right. Now this is just candy. You can do imagine all the things that go into Valentine's Day. Flowers. Right. right? Matter of fact, scratch that. See if you can find Valentine's Day. How much is Valentine's Day worth?
Come.
Right, just the whole thing. That's going to include cards, flowers, candy, jewelry. You may not find that specifically, but if not, we can find some specific things, because this is what we have to learn as a people. These holidays, right? Esau is making a like Esau is making a gaggle of money off these, off these holidays, and you don't even know why you celebrating them. You gonna let another man tell you when to do something nice for your wife?
So like it.
No, I'm just that's just a question out to whoever watching it. You shouldn't wait on another man to tell you when you can do something nice for your wife, when you can love your mother, when you can love your father.
Right.
You know what I mean? All these things that we do is all tied to pagan gods. So we're gonna get some history. But before we get that, let's see. Do you get anything that came up?
I gotta make sure this is right. I want to say.
What it say?
For the 2019 holiday season generated strong sales as consumer confident. A barometer.
You gotta use the mic.
Oh, so like a barometer of the U.S. economy remained positive. Retail sales in 2019 increased by 4.1% during the same period in 2018 to 730.2 billion.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's right, because you got to look at what all goes into that, right? So it's not just candy, it's not just cards, it's not just flowers, it's jewelry too, right? The jewelry is going to be a big chunk of that. Right. Those are like maybe the cornerstones. If I'm thinking of it, you got to have candy for Valentine's Day. You got to have flowers. You got to have cards. Right, and then a lot of people spend a lot of money on jewelry too. Damn. Now a lot of the other stuff, who knows what you're gonna get, all the other things that go into it. But I would say probably those are probably the cornerstones of Valentine's Day. When you think about ads and promotions that you see around Valentine's Day, there's a lot for jewelry. Like a lot of people do proposals, marriage proposals on Valentine's Day, right? And there's a lot of course, a lot of cards, a lot of flowers, and a truckload of candy.
What's that? It's like the Mary Kay. All them commercials they be putting out
for Valentine's Day.
Mary Kay. I'm gonna say they do all the one.
I don't know. You might be right. I ain't seen a Mary Kay commercial. My mom used to sell Mary Kay back in the day. I ain't seen a Mary Kay commercial.
Right.
Every once in a while, I see one of them pink cars on the highway. It's Mary Kay. Once they sell so much, they get they got to sell a truckload of makeup. And they get one of those pink cars that say Mary Kay on it.
God damn.
Yeah. All right. So 7.2 billion, you said, or 7.3?
It's 730.2 billion.
That don't sound right.
It's
700 billion?
730.2 billion.
Now, hold on, man. Let me
I can pull it up on the screen, other one.
Yeah, pull it up on the screen.
It's right behind you, other one. Right. You know what I'm saying? I might get into Valentine business. You trying
to tell me $750 billion is generated. $750 billion annually off you simpletons. I can't say you. Us, black people, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We're a huge portion of that number, I'm sure.
Damn right.
I'm sure. So you want to talk about, money in economy, you stop celebrating Valentine's Day. You can save a good portion of that,
right.
$750 $1 trillion. Not 1 billion. $750 $1 trillion annually made from Valentine's Day. Now, of course, there's estimates. Could be lower, could be higher. But Esau attract that money. How much money people is buying on candy and on cars and on flowers, and on jewelry for Valentine's Day. All right. So that's a hell of a lot of money. All right. So go to search. have the article. I wasn't gonna read it, but I'm gonna have you read it. Go, we got a question?
No, if I could, I'd one.
Mm-hmm.
And even though that people are, can't afford rent, finna get kicked out their homes, I guarantee you they still gonna celebrate these holidays.
Listen, that's no surprise because you got to look at Christmas, right? During Christmas, I was talking to a health professional, and what Esau considers the fourth quarter. Esau breaks up the year in quarters, right? For his businesses.
Right.
So like January, February, March, that's the first quarter, right? So basically 12 months in 4 parts. The last quarter, right, which is where you have a lot of family gatherings, right? That's the highest time for suicides in America. Because people are sad. Why are they sad? They sad because they don't have family. And another reason is around Christmas. They sad that they broke. They said that they broke and they can't afford to do the things that they want to do. So that whole mentality of, you feeling like less of a man because you can't provide these, frivolous things to the people in your life. Right, you should just get over that because we about to break it down. All this is evil and you shouldn't be celebrating it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I save money since I come in the truth. I ain't sending nobody no birthday gifts.
Right.
You know what I mean? No Christmas gifts, none of that. I ain't doing none of that. And I save money. I'm not depressed during that time of year. I'm happy during that time of year. I already know not only am I serving the Lord, right, and standing strong for what he laid down, but I'm also saving money. You understand?
Right.
I got more money that I can put into the truth.
Right.
So
right.
I got this history.com, right? So if you can just search Valentine's Day, the history of Valentine's Day, just so you can I'm gonna have you read it, but I'm gonna walk with you.
Kind of one.
All right, but the history, if you want to know the start or the history behind a lot of these things that you celebrate, right? You should, you could obviously just Google it and pull it up. The History Channel usually has pretty good articles on most things, right? From a historic perspective. So that's where I go.
So I don't want. Is it the Valentine's Day history and tradition? Renica?
Is the link history.com?
Oh.
Find the link that say history.com.
Kind of one. History.com.
All right, and so while you looking for that, I'm gonna start reading. All right. So anybody that wants to know the history, you can Google it. You'll find a bunch of stuff. So we're gonna start on historychannel.com. You got the link?
Kind of.
Most High in Christ. All right, let's start at the top.
Kind of.
Use the mic too, Bokusha.
Valentine Day occurred every February 14th across the United States and in another place around the world.
And in other places.
Oh, Salaki. In other places around the world, candy, flowers, and gifts are exchanged between loved ones. All in the name of Saint Valentine.
Okay, so here we go, right? All in the name of Saint Valentine. Who is this Saint Valentine? You understand? Let's scroll down. It says Legend of Saint Valentine. Let's see who that out, and we're gonna prove that he's not a saint. So let's just start there. Go ahead.
The history of Valentine's Day and the story of its patron saint is shrouded in mystery.
Shrouded
in mystery.
Shrouded. Yeah, like shrouded.
Shrouded in mystery. We do know that February has been celebrated as a month of romance, and that Saint Valentine's Day, as we know it today, contains vestiges of both Christian and ancient Roman tradition.
Here we go. Christian and Roman tradition, right? So let's keep going. Click that one that says, who was the real Saint Valentine? Now, if you all can't see what we're looking at, but the image of Saint Valentine is a Caucasian male that they got in this article. All right. You got that? Who was the real Saint Valentine? Go ahead. Matter of fact, go back. Just go back, click the back button, and then just read that next section down.
The Catholic Church recognized at least 3 different saints named Valentine or Valentinus. Valentinus, all of whom were martyred. One legend contends that Valentine was a priest who served during the 3rd century in Rome.
All right, so that's enough of that, right? So this is some devil, right? This Saint Valentine was some devil during the time of Rome, right? So let's get Psalms 50 and 5. Psalms 50 and 5. We're gonna see if he was a saint. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Let's find out. You got it?
Almost there.
Psalms 50 and 5. Let's see if this Saint Valentine, this devil, let's see if he was a saint. Because I don't know him. I never met him. I don't know the works he did. He might have been a nice guy. He might have even given to the poor. But let's see if he was a saint. Go ahead.
The book of Psalms, chapter 15, verse 5.
No, 50. 50 and 5. Chapter 50, verse 5. Yeah, like I was saying, he might have been an excellent guy. Gave to the poor, donated, did charity, took care of the sick, took care of the elderly. Let's find out if he was a saint, though.
So, like, if I could, I mean, I haven't read the scripture yet, but I'm just guessing if he wasn't a Hebrew Israelite, he can't be one. You know,
hey, well, listen, let's just find out. No reason to spoil it,
Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
Gather my saints together unto me. Those that have made a covenant.
Those that have made a what?
A covenant.
Okay. Those that have made a covenant. Keep going.
Come on. With me by sacrifice.
By what?
By sacrifice.
So to me, you was gonna say something? Go ahead.
I want to say, like, if he said a covenant, covenant wasn't made by blood?
There's only one covenant that the Most High made with any nation. That's the nation of Israel. You understand? So if he didn't make a covenant, meaning we keep his laws, statutes, and commandments, right? And he be our God. He didn't make that covenant. His people didn't make that covenant. The Most High only made that covenant with you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
He said, you know what? Here's the covenant. You keep these commandments, and I'm going to be your God.
Right.
You understand? That's a covenant right there. And he said, gather his saints together unto him, those that have made a covenant with me.
Right.
By sacrifice.
Right.
All right. Let's get a Psalms 148 and 14. Yeah, he ain't made no covenant. The Most High ain't got no covenant with, with those particular group of people.
Damn right.
He only made that with Israel.
Right. It's like 14.
Psalms 148 and 14.
Psalms chapter 148 and 14. He also exalted the horn of his people. The praise of all his saints.
The praise of all his what?
His saints.
Go ahead.
Even of the children of it.
Meaning what? When he says even. These, he's saying these people, right? Go ahead.
Even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye the Lord.
So he said, praise of all his saints, even the children of Israel. He's talking about us. Only you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, only you can be saints. This so lie off the rip with this article, you know what I mean? off the rip, well, we're talking about some Saint Valentine Day, some Saint Valentine, who's, you know, some Edomite somewhere in the Roman history who might have been, you know, might have did something nice for people, for the Romans.
Right.
Might have took care of the sick, like I said, might have gave to the poor, all this. And, you know, that term is used today as somebody who's, you know, who's you know, a good person, somebody who took care of people and did nice things. But that's not the definition of saint. A saint is only those who serve the Lord of the Israelites. You understand? Those are saints. He could never be a saint. He could be, you know, somebody who did a lot for the poor, but he couldn't be a saint. Go ahead. You was gonna say something?
The only thing the pressure really put on this earth for is to rule over us because we was being wicked.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's true, but it's like, I say that to say he might be designated as a saint in their history, but he's not a saint according to the Bible.
So like, what I'm trying to say is that we shouldn't look for no oppressor to rule over us, work with them, and nothing.
Well, that's a whole nother topic.
You know,
that's a whole nother topic. All right, so let's so now that we got, you know, lie number one off the rip, talking about some Saint Valentine Day is based on that. Right now, let's keep going and get some more history. All right, so you can drop down. All right, let's go down. It says origins of Valentine's Day, a pagan festival in February. Let's find out. Well, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are celebrating and don't even know why the hell they celebrating it. Let's find out.
Well, some believe that Valentine's Day is celebrated in the middle of February to commemorate the anniversary of Valentine's death or burial, which probably occurred around AD 270. Others claim that the Christian church may have decided to place St. Valentine's feast day in the middle of February in an effort to Christianize the pagan celebration of
Lupercalia.
Celebrated at the Ides of February.
Listen, so this is it. Now we about to get into it, right? What you'll see about a lot of the things that the Christian church supports is tied to a pagan holiday. You understand? February. Google the god of February for me real quick. The god of February. If you don't know, these months, right? These months that we have here, right, are named after Roman gods.
All right.
You got it?
It was also known as.
Hold on, tell them what you're reading.
Oh, Slovakia. It's the Lupercalia Wikipedia. It was also known as Februistus.
Put it up on screen.
Oh, Slovakia. Febulous.
That's good. Go ahead.
Febulous, and gave it name to Juno, Febulous, and Febulous, or
Just go ahead.
Febula, and her role as its patron, so like a patron
deity,
to a god called
Februous.
Febulous. And to February.
Right. Click the link down there. Yeah. Right. So that god, I can't pronounce it either. It's like February. Yeah. Go ahead and read that.
This one.
Yeah.
For the saint by the name of
Lupercalia.
Let's say Lupercus.
Lupercus. Yeah. Go ahead.
See Marcellus of Tanger for the Patrick Wolf album. Oh, it's like that's something better.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that one right there.
Okay. Lupercalia was an ancient, possible pre-Roman pastoral annual festival.
Right. So Lupercalia, what was a festival that they celebrated in Rome, right? They celebrated it in Rome, and there were several things involved in the celebration, of this festival, right?
That's like
Go,
good.
go ahead.
And it's the same date around. It say they
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Which is why, right? You go back and you look at Easter, right? Easter is also tied to a pagan holiday. I forget the name of it, right? But Easter in the Bible, right, is properly translated into Passover. So there was never supposed to be an Easter, right? But Easter is a pagan tradition which lives on through Christianity, right? Christianity, like all these other things that Lupercalia, right, that's phased out. But what still lives on? Christianity.
Right.
And Christianity is tied to all paganism. All right.
Right.
Go ahead with that.
Calvin. Observed in the city of Rome from the 13th to the 15th. Slacking. Observed in the city of Rome from the 13th to the 15th of February to avert evil spirits.
Hold on. So that's the first part of it, right? The first part of it, which you should know, is dumb and stupid. You're trying to avert, meaning ward off, all right? Send away evil spirits, right? You're not going to shoo away spirits because you fanning your hand or whatever witchcraft that you're trying to put in the air, right? So that was the first part of the festival, is to avert evil spirits. Go ahead.
And purify the city.
Right. Now you're going to purify the city through this festival. Keep going.
Releasing health and fertility.
Right. So a lot of these pagan things, right? What do a lot of people worship, right? You go back and you do research on all the ancient gods, so-called gods that people used to celebrate. They celebrate the sun, right? The sun brought heat and life and warmth and everything, right? The rain, because it fertilized the ground. Right. And also they prayed to deities for fertility. Right. If you wanted to have a kid, you couldn't have a kid, you prayed to some fertility god. You understand? So that you would get or have, kids. Right. So that was another part of the festival, was fertility. Go ahead. You got it on mute. Go ahead.
Lucilia was also called. Dies Februus. After the instrument of purification called February.
All right, drop down to where it says name.
Calvin. The festival was later known as February. Publication or
purifications.
Purification or
purging. Right. So again, the whole concept was to ward off evil spirits or purge evil spirits.
Calvin.
Right.
After the February, which was used on the day.
All right. So look at the image on the screen. That dog's head. That is the deity that they worshipped. Right. They of course made an idol out of it, and that's what you see in relation to February or Lupercalia.
Right.
All right. Let's go back to you can take that down. Let's go back to the History Channel article or story.
Calvin.
All right. So you can go back where it says Christianize the pagan celebration, and then go after that.
Christianize. Okay, Calvin.
Where it says Lupercalia was a fertility.
Lupercalia was a fertility festival dedicated to Venus, the Roman god or of architecture, or
agriculture.
you know,
Agriculture.
agriculture.
So what did I say? Like the whole concept of, you know, surviving and thriving was to, you know, be able to have crops or cattle, right? It wasn't, I mean, of course you had skills. You could be a blacksmith, you could be, you know, all these different things. But most people, you had to have an apprenticeship for that, right?
Right.
It wasn't just like you go downtown and get a job. It wasn't like it is today. Most people had to, you know, rely on agriculture. And you had a bad crop one year, that could mean, you know, life or death. So what did people do? What did pagans do? They prayed to the sun. They prayed to the moon. They prayed to the god of agriculture. They prayed to the god of the earth. They prayed to, you know, fertility gods. All these things, right? Which again is against the Lord. That's why, you know, when you talk about the root of this, why it was Antichrist, right? Of course, Israelites, we already knew who God was. We already knew we, you know, worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and not to, you know, worship the sun or worship, you know, some agriculture god. You know, these things that we knew. Did we do it? Yes, sometimes we did it. But our history, right, in our records, we knew that our God, you know, created everything and destroyed the Egyptians and flooded the earth and, you know, brought us out of captivity and all these things, right? Keep going.
Come. As well as to the Roman founders, Romulus and Remus.
Uh-huh. This is interesting to begin the festival. Go ahead.
Come. To begin the festival, members of the Luperci, an order of Roman priests, would gather at a sacred cave where the infant Romulus and Remus, the founder of Rome, were believed to have been cared for by a she wolf, or lupa. The priest would sacrifice a goat for fertility, and a dog for purification.
Listen, if this doesn't sound pagan, like, you know, you got to go and read the things that you celebrating. Right. You got to know where these things came from. The whole Valentine's Day, right, comes from this pagan holiday where they would ward off evil spirits, right? They would sacrifice goats and dogs for purification to get rid of the evil spirits, right? And it's all about, you know, worshiping this dog, this she wolf, Lupa, right?
Right.
Keep going.
They would then strip the goats, hide into strips, dip them into these sacrificial blood, and take to the streets, gently slapping both women and crop fields.
Right. This is a bloody festival, yo. You kill the dogs, you kill the goats, you take the sheep skin, the goat skin, right? You dip them in blood and you go around slapping people with the hides.
Right.
Go ahead.
Gently slapping both women and crop fields with the goat hide.
Right.
Far from being fearful, Roman women welcome to touch to the hide.
Hold on, they welcomed the touch of the hides. Go ahead.
Come. Because it was believed to make them more fertile in the coming year.
Right.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Later in that day, according to legends, all the young women in the city would place their names in a big urn. The city's bachelor would
now we're about to get into the freaky part. Go ahead.
The city's bachelor would each choose a name and become paired for the year.
Whoring.
Right.
Whoring. The thing that you celebrate on February 14th is based on a whole bunch of ward off evil spirits, sacrificing goats and dogs, slapping women and crops with bloody goat hides, and then you're going to be paired with somebody for 1 year, and then the next year you're going to be a whore. Go ahead.
With become paired for the year with his chosen woman. These matches often ended in marriage.
Right. They ended in marriage, but what happened the following year?
Right.
Go ahead.
It's like when we read Valentine's Day.
Yeah, let's keep going. There's more good history on this. There's more good history on Valentine's Day. We already talked about the industry. Matter of fact, before we keep going, any questions online?
Man, it is somebody with a comment. Craig,
go ahead. What is it?
Craig Vermillion. What's up with all those stars of women, satanic hexagrams behind you?
Oh, okay.
Oh, so like he talking about the shit.
No sweat. Craig Vermillion. Craig, that's not the star of Rim Fam. That's not satanic. I know people have been led to believe that it's satanic because their lack of knowledge and understanding of the Bible. That is called the Shield of David, not the Star of David, right? It's the Shield of David, right? So it's called the Magun Dawudah in Hebrew, and that was David's insignia, right? That was his signet, right? So a lot of kings, they have, a letter that they would send to somebody and it'd be sealed with his signet, right? So that's what he used. The Star of Remphan, like, I would like to know what picture book that you saw the Star of Remphan in, right? Or what scripture that you're using to say that that's the Star of Remphan. Right. And explain it to me and break it down. Right. So don't just go off things that you heard. I know you heard a million people say that. You probably think you're very well versed in the Bible and what the Star of Remphan is, and that's fine. If that's what you believe, you can believe whatever the hell you want to believe. But that is not the Star of Remphan. That's the Magun Dawudah, right? So again, that's David's insignia. That's his signet as a king. As you know, damn near every king has I would venture to say every king has a seal or a signet, right? Or a badge, however you want to call it. So that answers your question. Go ahead.
Wasn't it also a shield, like in battle?
I mean, we would wear that, as a cop wears his shield.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, David would, again, that's the king's signet. So, in a king's kingdom, he has a certain thing seal that he has, right? And so that's how you would know.
So I thought somebody said that one time that it's a battle, like a shield that goes right here, and because as you look at it, like let's say if you swing that thing around, got points all over.
I don't know. I can't answer that.
Okay.
I can't answer that. Of course, maybe General Muhammad can answer that. Okay. I don't know if we had shields and bucklers. You see that in the scriptures where brothers were equipped with shields and bucklers. I don't know if they were ever shaped like the shield of David.
Right, but if you can look at it, you see what I'm saying though, how they got all the points on it.
It'll be hardcore. It'll be hardcore. Who knows? I can't answer. I haven't seen that in history, so I won't speak on it. I won't say that we did have it, but
I'm right.
All right. Oh, was that it online?
Kind of the one.
Okay.
We gotta have our haters.
No, it's all good. You might just be asking earnestly. We ain't gotta beat him up. He only saying what he been taught. He been taught this. This the Star of Remphan. That's cool. This is our job to educate people.
Damn right.
All right, let's go down to that next section.
Kind of one. Lupercalia survived Lupercalia survived the initial rise of Christianity, but was outlawed as it was deemed unchristian. At the end of the 5th century, when Pope Gaius declared February 14th Saint.
Why did he declare February 14th? If Lupercalia was outlawed, right, because of the lasciviousness, Why did he keep February 14th?
That's like, excuse me, repeat that other one.
If lupercalia was outlawed, right, no longer allowed, right? Why did this Pope keep the day February 14th for Valentine's Day?
Because the money and the women's and the whores.
Listen, because people like to celebrate lupercalia.
Right.
Because that's like a lot of same thing with Christmas, December 25th. Like they could have said Christmas is any time of the year, but what was it? It was a celebration of Nimrod. It's an age-old pagan tradition, and people, there'd be an uprising if people couldn't celebrate what they wanted to celebrate. Same thing with this. He kept it February 14th because the Lupercalia festival was from the 13th to the 15th. He was like, well, we just leave it around the same time. Boom, February 14th, and now you have it's basically a cleaned up pig. You know what I'm saying? You clean that pig. It's a pig to begin with, Lupercalia. You understand? But now he's saying it's Valentine's Day. It's February 14th. Well, if it's if it was unchristian to have it, Lupercalia at all, why even make it the 14th? Why not make it like the 1st or the end of the month or some other day? But they picked the same days that it was on because it's the same. It's basically the same tradition, like which we just read, like the roots of it. Go ahead.
So like they cleaned it up, and they did the same thing for Halloween. Remember
Halloween with Samhain.
Yep.
Right.
right.
Christmas with celebrating Nimrod's birthday. All these things have pagan roots.
Right. So like, if it could, I mean, it ain't had nothing to do with this, but same thing with football, the Super Bowl. With the Coliseums, it's they just cleaned it up.
Right.
Because back in the day, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians used to die in them goddamn Coliseums.
Right.
Caliban one.
Go ahead.
Caliban. It was not until much later, however, that the day became definitely associated with love.
Right. Okay. So we go from whooping women with bloody goat skins and whipping crops with bloody goat skins and mating up with a cat for that year to now it's going to be associated with love. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Caliban. During the Middle Ages, it was commonly believed in France and England that February 14th was the beginning of birds' mating season, which added to the idea that the middle of Valentine's Day should be a day for romance. The English poet Gregory.
You can skip past that.
Caliban.
Go down to Valentine greetings.
Caliban. It's like, if I could.
Go ahead.
And it just brings out how dumb the heathens are.
Well, I mean, okay, that's true, but that is true, but of course they were never given the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Damn right.
Let's get that scripture. Let's get that one.
I want to say it's in Psalms 147.
Hey, whatever you. You the man. You know what I mean? You got all the precepts. I see you studying. Psalms 147, 19 and 20.
Damn right one. I'll never forget this one. Psalms 147, chapter 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
Right. He showed his word unto Jacob, Jacob being a progenitor or the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel.
His stature and his judgment unto Israel.
Unto who?
Unto Israel.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. He had not dealt so with any nation.
He didn't do that for any other nation outside of Israel. Go ahead.
And as for his judgments,
right,
they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
So that's why they dumb. That's why they do dumb stuff. Like, you look at Islam, you read the history of Islam, they had a God for every day of the year, 365 gods. Islam. Not only till Muhammad started following Israelites did they become monotheistic, meaning they followed one God. Before that, before Muhammad came in and basically observed Israelites and learned from Israelites, they worshipped a God for every day of the year. But once he saw Israelites and how they prayed to the east, and how they worship one God, and how they didn't eat pork, and how they, were righteous, like then he said, you know what, I'm going to model Islam after, after the Bible or after Israelites. So these are, of course, these other nations don't have the knowledge that we have. Like we were given this knowledge, they were not. So of course, we knew better than to worship, a fertility god. Right? If one of the women were barren, we would pray to our God, who was, the one true living God. Did we also worship other gods? We did. That's why we got in trouble. That's why we're here in America now, suffering and dying and on crack and on meth now. Black people do meth. I'm like, damn, times is bad. You got to do meth. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's like the heavy thing is that I talked to one of my cousins last week or 2 weeks ago, and he told me that my uncle was doing that stuff. Meth. Like, and that's stuff that niggas don't do.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, we doing meth now? That shit is totally out of pocket. Since when black people do meth? Not that crack is any better, but damn, damn, man. It's like we can't be doing no meth, man. That shit just seemed too left field. But anyway, that's why we here dying in the ghetto now, because we disobeyed the Lord. Right. Any other questions online? Okay, let's keep going. Oh, let's go back to the story. Or not the story, but the article on Valentine's Day. Damn right. We do everything our oppressor do. And that's the whole point. Right. Brother made a comment on Facebook. And that's the whole point. We following after these things, we don't know why. It's a $730 billion industry, Valentine's Day. If black people didn't do that, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans didn't follow this, didn't celebrate this holiday and save that money, right? Imagine if everybody who was going to buy a Valentine's Day gift, go ahead, you got it, right? Everybody who was going to buy a Valentine's Day gift, right? Now let's just take it small, right? Let's do some simple math. Okay, they said it was a $730 billion industry annually. I'm gonna do some simple math. I know this ain't math class, right? And black people are what, 11% of the population?
Hey, that's what we want.
Yeah, we about 11%. This is 11% of the population here in America. Okay, that's still even high, I think. Let's say, because not everybody buys a Valentine's Day gift. So let's say 5%. That number still seems high.
Hey, really?
I'm just trying to be really conservative. I'm trying to be conservative. All right. Say if 5% of that, that's 36. 36. That can't be right. I don't want that number is way too high.
Don't be surprised though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I don't even want to say the number is stupid, because if Valentine's Day is a $730 billion industry annually, and we 11% of the population, say if we could just get 10% of that, man. If we could just get 10% of that, save that money. Everybody sent in those ties to the ISUPK, and we was able to build a nation off that, man. Listen. You take Valentine's Day, you take, Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that money, just a few of them, and Halloween, just take a few of those, costumes and candy and gas money and all this for running around. We stop celebrating that stuff, and we put that money into the ISUPK and let community and how to build a nation. We have schools, we have armed guards, we'll have transportation systems. We have our own Uber. Be black nigga Uber. We ain't got to worry about getting into no car with no oppressor. We ain't got to worry about calling no cab. We have places where homeless people could go, like you trying to build in Harlem. We have food kitchens. We have all this, man, just to save that money from Valentine's Day and Christmas and Halloween and all these wicked holidays, Christmas. But we go spend tons of money for what? Off something where we worship some deity, some dog, right? And slapping women with bloody goat hides.
Right.
Let's get back to the article though, so we can finish it up.
Kind of one.
Let me know if any questions hop on there.
Kind of.
But that's so true, brother. We do everything our oppressor do. We don't, we feel like we gotta tell our mom we love her on Mother's Day. We gotta tell our father we love him on Father's Day. We got birthdays to worship our kids and go broke, and Christmas and all these things where Esau telling us to do all these things when we don't need that. We don't need Esau to tell us nothing. Esau is not a model citizen. This is what black people have to understand. Esau can't even control his own people, let alone fix our problems in our communities. Go ahead, Cornpop.
So like I was gonna say that it's an act of war. That's what it is. It's an act of war. You know what I'm saying? That's why they pushing it, just because they know what it does for us. It keeps us away from the Most High, and it also help their economy flourish.
Listen, it makes them filthy rich.
Right.
Filthy rich.
Right.
These jewelers, Valentine's Day is a huge holiday for them. Candy is huge Valentine's Day. Cards, you probably have no card for people who make cards, probably the biggest day of the year. I would venture to say. What other day? Maybe Mother's Day. Maybe Mother's Day. Nah, because birthdays is all spread out.
Okay,
birthdays is all spread out. Mother's Day might be number one. Now I would venture to say Valentine's Day is number one.
Shalaka, if I could.
Go ahead.
Father's Day ain't shit, but Shalaka. They ain't giving that nigga nothing. Shalaka.
Because fathers ain't really into cards like that. Right. You know what I mean? Fathers is like, give me a pair of socks, nigga.
Right. But then you got that woman bashing that, don't give him nothing. He ain't done nothing for you. All your life you've been taught that your daddy ain't nothing, So
that's true, man. It's a lot of abuse, but don't always like flip it like it's like, that's true. Fathers do get less love, but there's a lot of women out there that make sure their fathers is looking at them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we don't want to make it seem like all fathers had that experience. You know what I mean? But it's true. In general, fathers get less love. You know what I mean?
Right.
But again, it's something fathers, I can't say that we used to, but it's damn near it is the culture of America. You know what I mean? Especially black fathers, they're kind of. It's just you get less attention on those kind of things. And mothers are placed a lot higher than fathers. But this ain't about that. It's about Valentine's Day in general. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about what I'm saying, who gets more love. We already know that mothers in general, what I'm saying, especially in this society, they get more love, and that that's gonna be rectified, right? Because the father is the one that's there to lead and guide the family. It's his responsibility. Right. That's why let's get that scripture. It says the flock of my the flock of my herd are men. I might be paraphrasing that wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. Just get that real quick. And then we're gonna keep going.
Is it want to say Ezekiel?
Yep, 34 and 31.
What kind of one? Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 31.
Go ahead.
And ye, my flock.
My flock, he's saying my flock, right? You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, go ahead.
The flock of my pastors.
The flock of my pastor, meaning who's in charge? These people that I'm about to name, these are the people responsible and charged with the well-being. Go ahead.
Are men.
Are what?
Are men.
It didn't say women. Women are not in charge, right? Women are not in charge. Men are in charge. Right, which means you are responsible.
Right.
You're responsible for your family. You're responsible for making sure your family knows not to celebrate Valentine's Day. You're responsible for telling your kids, I know you want to go to school today and go to that party, but I'm not going to let you go. Matter of fact, I'm going to come get you and we're going to do some studying while they're having this party. Or I'm going to pull you out of school early. I'm not going to let you give out cards. I'm not going to let you pass out candy. I'm not going to let you do anything related to any kind of, pagan tradition where the Lord is not going to be happy with me. And the schools are some of the schools are somewhat changing where they move these parties and change the date of the party and give it a different name. I don't want anything, tied to any kind of celebration for my kids. If I feel like it's a hint of something, what you don't want to do is not let your kids have a party. You know what I mean? It's up to you. It's up to each parent. But like my son, because he doesn't have a birthday party or a any kind of other party I let him do, he's allowed to have a end of the year party, right? So he invite the people that he want from his class to go to the skating rink or whatever. So kids they love that kind of stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with parties in general, but if I smell anything related to Valentine's Day or Halloween, I'm like, no, you can't, you can't do it. Tell your teacher you don't celebrate that. My son a beast. He was like, they was talking about different things that they celebrate. And the teacher was like, what do you celebrate? He was like, I don't celebrate anything you celebrate.
Right. Damn right. Yeah,
he blows me away, man. He happy, man. Hanukkah is like, he loves to hear the story about how we fought, right, to get our fought the Maccabees fought. He loves that whole story.
Right.
But anyway, that's men are in charge. Men are responsible for making sure that your family do the right thing, right? Your family knows the truth, right? So that's a huge responsibility. But let's get back to the story.
What kind of one? So you want to finish the scripture?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Khan. Are men, and I am your God, said the Lord God.
That's right. Go ahead.
Khan. Skip that one. That's like you told me to skip something and go down to Valentine greeting.
Yep, that's it. Right.
Valentine greeting were popular as far back as the Middle Ages. Though written Valentines didn't begin to appear until after 1400. The oldest known Valentine still in existence today was a poem written in the 1415 by Charles, Duke of Orleans, to his wife while he was in prison in the Tower of London, following his capture at the Battle of Agincourt.
Right. So you can skip all that. Basically now, all right. So again, this is the evolution of many things, right? You got Lupercalia, February. You got this so-called saint, right? Which we proved who the saints are, right? If you Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you are the only saints. You go to Psalms 50 and 5, it tell you who the saints are. It's those that have made a covenant with him. You read the history of this, filthy horde festival that they had, Lupercalia, right? And now we're gonna move on. Let's move on to the next part. Who is Cupid? That's another thing that's popular in Valentine's Day, right? This Cupid, he's shooting arrows. He has on a diaper, and he's a little Caucasian cherub. Right? So you see that everywhere. You see that everywhere Valentine's Day. You see it in cartoons. Some little cherub who's shooting arrows of love. Let's find out. Let's find out who Cupid is.
Right. Cupid is often portrayed on Valentine's Day cards,
right,
as a naked cherub. Launching arrows of love.
All right. Arrows of love. Go ahead.
At unexpected lovers. But the Roman god Cupid.
Here you go. Another pagan god that Black people are worshiping. Right? Go ahead.
His has his roots in Greek
mythology.
mythology. As the Greek god of love. He rose. Accounts of his birth buried. Some say he is the son of
Okay, so you can if you're watching this, you can read that on your own time. There's a ton of Greek gods tied into Roman, right? So the Romans are basically an extension of the Greeks. You understand? A lot of the Greek gods that was established with Greece, because the kingdom of Greece, or the society of Greece, came before the Roman Empire, right? The Romans basically copied all the Greek gods and they gave them different names, right? So the Greek gods, so Zeus, right? Zeus is Greek, but in Roman mythology, I think he's Jupiter, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? So you got corresponding names for the Greek gods for the Roman, right? In Rome. All right. So, but it talks about, this god Cupid. Go ahead. Or this Greek god Cupid. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
Oh, so I was just gonna say, if it wasn't for the ISUPK bringing this stuff out, who would know? Right. The Christian church ain't bringing this out. Your black leaders ain't bringing this out.
The Christian church is perpetuating it. The Christian church is going to allow you to look at that little, little cherub, right? The little molester, some little naked devil, and be okay with it, and teach your kids that that's Cupid. He's the god of love, and he shoots you with arrows, and you fall in love.
Become a homosexual
because you do all kind of lasciviousness.
Right.
So he's supposed to be some kind of god of love, or usually, right? Cherubs are like, at least in this society, they're portrayed as angels, right? They're portrayed as like angels. Of course, his is more closely related to a god. But let's go ahead.
What kind of one?
You lost it?
No, it's like I'm just gonna change that background. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool.
It's like So you want me to start at
according
to the Greek archaic poets, Eros was a handsome immortal played with the emotion of gods and men, using golden arrows to incite love and leading one to so aversion.
Listen, if you believe that, right? If you believe in all this and you teach your kids, you allow your kids to celebrate Valentine's Day, you're following a pagan custom, a pagan tradition whose roots is based on a festival called Lupercalia. Lupercalia is where women chose a man for the year, right? They were beat with bloody goat skins. They sacrificed dogs. They beat the crops with a goat skin, and it was something that they looked forward to every year. This festival was based on purging evil spirits, as well as a fertility festival, right? And this transformed through the Roman Catholic Church to a on February 14th, right, which Lupercalia was celebrated on February 13th through the 15th. So then the Christian Church, the Roman Catholic Church, got their hands on it, and they said, you know what? We're going to do away with Lupercalia, and we're going to make it Valentine's Day. And now Valentine's Day is supposed to be, based on this festival, because they would choose men for the year. Right now it's based on love. And now it's all about, love and, love. And then General Hyman, he brought out something about, and I've never seen this history because I haven't done the research. But if you go and do the research, and I'll see, he's going to do a class, so I may ask him. He's going to do a class this Thursday. But that heart shape is a woman's behind, right? So you look at the heart, right, and look at a woman bending over, right? It symbolizes a woman's heart or a woman's backside, right? And so I'm sure he'll go into the history on that. I don't have the history for you here today because I didn't know where to find it. But that heart shape, that's a woman's behind. So you got your kids passing out heart-shaped candy, they're passing out asses. You understand? And so many things wrong with this holiday. So many pagan roots and wicked and lasciviousness that's going on with this holiday. It would be prudent of you to not let your kids celebrate this. It'd be prudent of you to, forbid your kids to celebrate this and not have anything to do with worshiping another god. You're worshiping Cupid, right? This god of the Romans. You're worshiping, what's Lupa, right? The she, the she dog, who apparently nursed Romulus and Remus. February. That's another one. So it's all kind of Greek and Roman gods that's tied up into this holiday, all kind of lasciviousness. So that's really the history of Valentine's Day and the different gods and festivals and pagan traditions all rolled up into what you know today as Valentine's Day. All right, which has nothing to do with the Bible or we already talked about the saint. That was another thing we talked about earlier. There's no these devils cannot be saints. Only blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans can be saints, right? So we've covered quite a few aspects of Valentine's Day and broken it down and showed you how it's all pagan. It's has nothing to do with the Bible, nothing to do with anything that's righteous or pious or about love. It's not about love. It's not about love at all. Don't let Esau tell you when to love your woman. Do something nice for your woman whenever you think about it. Do something nice for your husband whenever you think about it. If you don't, buy flowers, does that mean you don't love your woman? Lie. It does not mean that. It doesn't mean you buying flowers for your woman is definitely a nice gesture. It's a nice sentiment. It's something that women like and they appreciate. And you should do it if you can do it. You should do it sometime. You should not spoil your woman, but you should do nice, kind things for your woman. Christ wants you to be kind and sweet and loving to your woman. It's going to build a healthy, strong marriage. She's going to appreciate it and love it. Not all women really care about all that. My woman, she loves flowers. She loves flowers and candy and me being sweet and all this. I'm not a romantic guy. I try to be, because she loves it, but that's just not how I'm built. But I don't wait on Esau to do it. Esau don't tell me when to do it. Whenever I think about it, I'm like, okay, I should do something sweet and nice. You understand? So as black people, what else did we cover? We covered how much it is annually, $730 billion industry annually. Like I said, it's the flowers, it's the candy, it's the cars, it's the jewelry. Those are the staples for Valentine's Day. You know what? You know what else is a staple? Plush. Like teddy bears. They call it plush. I forgot. How could I forget that, man? You probably teddy bear makers or plush, they call it the plush. Plushies, whatever they call it. They make a gaggle of money too. So
like it. Champagne.
Huh?
Champagne,
alcohol. Yeah,
right.
Listen, that's why it's $730 billion because there's so many industries that's touched by Valentine's Day. Right. Candy is huge. Candy is huge on Valentine's Day. Because not only is it candy for your woman, it's candy for the kids. Think about how many school parties it is. Or it used to be, right? School parties is candy and then cars. You got a ton of cars. You got a ton of balloons. Balloons is huge too.
Oh, I'm glad you brought this other one.
What?
Let's say if the school send the kid home with some candy, what should I do with it?
What do you mean?
If they
okay, so I'll just tell you, for me, like a lot of schools now, they don't really do Valentine's Day parties. Some of them do. If they do, I don't let my kids, I tell the teacher off the rip so that he don't come home with nothing.
Okay.
I tell him off the rip, my son can't participate. It's against what we believe in. He can't participate in Valentine's Day.
Right.
I remember one year they was doing something. My daughter's 13 now, but one year they was doing something, and I came and got her for the duration of the party, and then I took her back to school after the party. So I mean, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can pull away from work, but if you know in advance, which you will know, you know, because it's kind of on the schedule for kids. They're like, well, yeah, the kids got, you know, a party this day to celebrate this. And like, well, you know, send my son to the office during that time, or, you know, if you can't go get him, have him go to somewhere where he doesn't, you know, have to participate. And kids, man, you know what I find about kids is like initially, like they're disappointed, and every once in a while it's like something that they, you know, they think about, but they don't really miss it as much as you think. I think it's more parents, you know, parents be more concerned and worried about disappointing them kids. Well, kids is resilient. Think about how many poor kids in the ghetto don't get nothing to ever celebrate anything, and they still be happy. You understand? Of course, the kids are kids. If you don't ever have anything, of course you're gonna be down. But you know, if you got stuff, that's the beautiful thing about being an Israelite. You don't have to wait till Christmas to get your kid something. You want to go out and get your kid a gift, you can wrap it up. You know what I mean? Make it look nice. Everything boom, pull it out the garage. You got a new bike. You know what I mean? All that stuff, and it's still just exciting. It's like we don't have to wait on Esau to tell us to, you know, do stuff for our kids. We can tell, you know, we can tell our family we love them anytime, all the time, every time. You know what I mean? And you don't wait on Esau to tell you to do something. Right? You was gonna say something else? No, that's it. So that's pretty much it on Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? Any questions online?
Lot of one, but it's like
well, we got to get a scripture real quick, right? Because this is going to pretty much like all the gods that we went over that's involved in this. Right now, we got to get put no other gods before me. This is why it's a sin. This is why celebrating Valentine's Day is a sin. Exodus 20:3. Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. You want to know why Valentine's Day is a sin? You want to know why you shouldn't celebrate Valentine's Day? Not to mention because of just the stupid festival that is based on you warding off evil spirits. You ain't warding off nothing with a bloody goat skin. You understand?
It's like 20:3.
20:3. But you can just start at 1, just to make, you know, just to make it plain.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, verse 2, I am the Lord thy God.
I am the Most High, thy power. Go ahead.
Which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Again, like General Muhammad brings out all the time. These laws were given to us because we did things when we were in Egypt. When we in Egypt, why do we have this law? We have this law because we did this in Egypt.
Right.
Go ahead.
Shalakia. Because if we wasn't breaking laws, if we was perfect, we wouldn't need the laws.
Right. I mean, well, I mean, he would still have the law. Like the laws have been in place, right? The laws have been in place. You know, he gave Adam the laws.
Right.
But you're right. We wouldn't need the punishments if we were perfect. You know what I mean? We would only, like, what was Adam supposed to know? What was the only thing he was supposed to know? Was he supposed to know, what knowledge was he supposed to have?
Only the knowledge of the Most High. The law, statute, and commandments.
What knowledge he was given? Okay, after Eve learned from the other nations, what knowledge did she have?
Knowledge of the heathens, other one.
It's specifically quoted in the Bible. She had the knowledge of 2 things.
I want to say, what did it say? Bread and life and
She had the knowledge of good and evil.
Shalaki, other one. Damn.
She had the knowledge of good and evil, right?
Damn right.
We were not supposed to have the knowledge of evil.
Right.
You know what that knowledge of evil is?
Khan.
Tell me.
Serving pagan Valentine's Day. Christmas.
Not exactly.
Okay, it's like
the knowledge of evil is, right, know what would happen if we disobeyed God's laws. We were only supposed to know the knowledge of good. We were only supposed to know you serve the Lord, you get good. You keep the Sabbath, you get good. You don't eat these abominations, you get good. If you honor thy mother and thy father, you get good. That's all we're supposed to know. We were never supposed to know. You know what? If you eat pork, you're gonna get punished. You understand? If you lie, you're gonna get punished. We were never supposed to have the knowledge of evil. The Most High never intended for us to have the knowledge of evil. We were only supposed to do good and get good, and that's it. You understand what I'm saying?
But how did it happen though? If he didn't intended it?
Because Eve.
I mean, it's because he gave us free choice.
Because Eve was beguiled.
No, I understand that, but if he didn't, like, I want to see like as a mistake. You know, he don't make no mistakes.
What you mean it wasn't? Tell me what you mean by that.
Lord don't make no mistakes.
Okay, no. Tell me what you mean by what you said before that.
So like, how did it happen? Unless, you know what I'm saying, he allowed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did it happen? Like, how, you know what I'm saying? How was somebody?
Eve.
I know that I don't want. I know it was Eve. You know what I'm saying? But how? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you mean.
Like
how?
Damn. Like, because is it because like because she had freedom of choice? That was, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did, you know what I'm saying? Like,
what you mean?
If it was never,
she could choose.
Okay.
You can always choose. The Bible says this. Moses said, I set before thee, and I'm paraphrasing, I set before thee life and death. Choose life. Yes, you have that choice.
Right.
You can choose life and death. To me, it's a simple choice.
Right.
A lot of people like to say, well, yeah, we got free will. Right. If you want to call that free will, which is really not free will, you have a choice, right? This is your choice, life and death. So if you want to call that free will, okay, I wouldn't call it free will. I would say you have a choice.
That's what you
can choose. Oh yeah, you got a choice. You can make the choice. Everybody can make the choice. The Most High allows you to make the choice. What choice does He want you to make?
Good choices.
He wants you to choose life.
Right.
Right. He says, I set before thee life and death. Choose life. Right. So that's the whole point. A lot of people like to think, well, why did the Most High even allow it? Because he allows you to choose. Right. He allows you to choose. He didn't make you a robot, or like you have a choice.
And so, like, if I could.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to say. You know, it's a lot of scripture. Do not give strength unto women and stuff like that. Cause
say what?
Don't give strength unto women. And
what you mean by that?
Like this by example, what she did. I don't want to, like, you know, she had, you know, she did that dumb stuff, you know, and it, you know, like doomed us all. You know, she was like the first to sin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just
saying. Guess who else sinned though?
It's not good.
Adam.
How?
What you mean how? Go back and read the story. He followed the other nations too. He covered himself in the other nations too.
But that was after
it don't matter.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He's not blameless, huh?
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's not blameless. He could have been like, no, you wrong. We're not going to follow the customs of these other nations. He covered himself in the customs of the other nations as well. He could have said, no, I'm not going to do that. Right. When the Bible's talking about he ate of the fruit too, she gave him of the fruit and he ate. He also participated.
Damn.
You understand?
Damn right.
So, hey, listen, I mean, yes, that's true. She was the first. She messed up. But guess what? Adam followed suit.
Right.
Adam followed suit. He ain't blameless.
Damn right. Because he could have told it, right?
He could have been like, no, you messed up. I'm not doing that. You understand?
Damn right. That's heavy. Yeah.
All right. I forgot where the hell I was even going with that.
You said Exodus, I don't want.
Exodus.
Cattle cut. I don't want.
Right. So, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Keep going.
Cattle cut. Out of the house of bondage.
Out of the house of bondage, man. That's what America. Right. That's why America is compared to Egypt. It's a house of bondage. This is a place of bondage for blacks, Hispanics, and Americans. Keep going.
Cattle cut. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Man, you're not going to worship February, right? You're not going to worship, Cupid. You're not going to worship some saint, some fake saint. You're not going to put these things before me.
Right.
That's why celebrating Valentine's Day is a sin. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. All these gods rolled up into these pagan traditions and celebrations and holidays. When you celebrate them, When you allow your kid to go and give cards and take candy and say Happy Valentine's Day, right? You're worshiping these other gods. You're allowing them to worship these other gods. When you go and buy your, you know what I'm saying, your husband a Valentine's Day gift or your wife a Valentine's Day gift, you're worshiping other gods. And the Bible says, thou shalt not have no other gods before me. That's why it's a sin.
So like, I want another question.
Go ahead.
So let's say like the biological, like how you say biological father?
Biological
father, you know, is calling the child a happy birthday. Trying to tell him happy birthday.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? What
can you do about that?
I can tell him no. You know what I'm saying? Like no, you know what I'm saying, to my wife and all that, but
okay, but you can't stop the father from telling his kids.
Okay, Calvin Khan.
Only thing, what can you do?
Tell him, teach him about it.
Teach who?
The kids.
Proverbs 22:6. Let's get it.
Calvin Khan.
This is what you can do.
Calvin Khan.
This is the only thing you can do. You can't stop the father. In fact, you don't want to stop the father from seeing his kid. That's what you don't want to do.
Calvin Khan.
And you know, you can't really dictate to another man that's, you know, that's his kid.
Right. Calvin Khan.
But what you can do is Proverbs 22:6. Let's get it.
Calvin Khan 1. He that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool.
Do I got the right scripture? Proverbs 22:6.
Proverbs. Oh, it's like you said 26.
22:6.
Calvin Khan.
Yeah.
Right, I might have messed up. Like,
I'm about to say, I know that don't sound right.
Right. Hey, it was actually going with it though. Salak.
No, it wasn't.
I'm like, yeah, that's heavy, Dr. Salak.
Yeah, Proverbs 22:6.
Calvin Khan.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
Do you want to stop that man from seeing his child?
Nah.
Right? That man doesn't have the truth, but even though he doesn't have the truth, he's still that child's father, right?
Right.
And UPK, we big on, you know, a brother who's father the child and wants to be in that child's life, even though he doesn't have the truth. You don't want to prevent that man, right, from seeing his kids. Now, of course, he's teaching the kid wrong. Well, what do you do since you have more contact with the kid? You teaching them right. Like, you don't have to turn that kid against his father, right? Which you shouldn't do that. But what you can do is train up a child in the way that he should go, right? And he'll get to a point, that child will get to a point and say, you know what, Dad, I love you, but I don't celebrate birthdays. I appreciate you saying that, but I don't celebrate my birthday. The Lord don't like it. And the father gonna be like, well, damn, what's wrong with you? Why you don't want to celebrate your birthday? Well, Dad, you know, the Lord, you know, I learned that the Lord don't like me to celebrate my birthday. And that's it. And that kid will still have a relationship with a father, or maybe not. Maybe he won't. You don't know, but just know that you're doing the right thing by telling them, you know, it's wrong to celebrate it. You training them up in the way that he should go. So, you know, never turn the kid against his biological father. Right. But you still have a responsibility to tell him what's right. Right. And listen, whatever happens after that, maybe that father moves out of that kid's life. And, you know, Lord willing, he doesn't. But if he does, you got, you know, of course, that helps you to raise him up the right way. But, you know, the worst thing you can do is, you know, separate a father from his, you know, from a child from the love of his father. You know
Right. All
right.
Calvin.
I think that's pretty much it. We got any questions online before we close it up?
Nah.
You sure?
Calvin.
You had any questions before I close it up?
Nah, I don't.
All right. We right up on the time. I think that was pretty much it. That was a breakdown. Any last questions on Valentine's Day?
I don't want, you know. I know it's evil.
You celebrating Luke Brazilian?
Hey.
You celebrating Luke Brazilian?
Loud.
You gonna dip your goat skin in blood and smack the women on it?
Hey, loud.
Damn, man. It's crazy. It's crazy things we celebrate and don't even know where they come from. Christmas, we don't even know where that come from. Yeah, right. Christmas, we don't even know where that come from. Valentine's Day, Halloween, you know what I mean? Easter, all these things are pagan, man. Are pagan. We don't even know where they come from. We don't even know what we let our kids celebrate. but we let our kids do it. So, you know, if you want some history on it, of course, you can watch this class from the beginning. You know, go to historychannel.com. You can read a lot of this, and you'll see the paganism. I know General Muhammad is going to break down on it tomorrow, as he does, you know, every year for these holidays. You know what I mean? So the ISUPK, this is where we teach you where these things began, right? Where they come from, the meaning of them, right? This is where you should be to get the knowledge and understand that you shouldn't be celebrating, you know, these wicked holidays, man.
Right.
Like if you really love your kids, you really love your woman, you're gonna train them up, man. You're gonna train them up in the way that they should go. You're gonna guide them and you're gonna lead them. You understand? So if there's no more questions, Corn Park, I'm gonna pass the class to Priest and Officer Corn Park.
Okay. You want me to get up there?
That's cool. Just make sure you got a mic.
Okay. We are Shlaki. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 to 21. Malachi 3:8 to 10 means 10th in Hebrew. Ma'asher. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Get to the treasury department or a teacher. Priest funds. Free will offering for priests. Not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. We got the Feast of Purim, February 25th and February 26th. Bring your family. And also we got the Lord's Passover, April 24th in Houston, Texas at B&H Ranch. Or it's like it's B&R Ranch on Player Street. You know what I'm saying? Be there or be square. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf, and with that, a majum, which means to rise. With Pungo Hakwadum, which means turn to face the east. The Lord's Prayer. Abanahu, Shabbat Shemayim, Quadash, Hayyah, Shimka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Taba'ah, Va'izayaka, Hayyah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayyah, Bashamayim, Nathan, Lenawa, Lekam, Carl, Yawam, Wasalakwanawa, Kawawafiyanawa, Kasalakwanawa, Kawawafiyanawa, Wala'ah, Tabiyanawa, Walasawan, Abor, Hashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, the Cup, Amalakwa, Wala'alu, Wadapar, Dabalayam, Aman.
Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father,
which
art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Hakat, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Bahashim Yahushua. Baba Kashah. The Thumbanawa. Hakat. La Rapa'ah. Kal Makalak. Ukal Marawa. Hakat. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakat. La Hakwatiyim. Hamatiyim. Hakat. Arakawak. Hatamalu. Lagarshon. Bashim. Yahushua. Throughout our mud.
Prayer for the power in English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh
In
Shai.
the name of Yahweh.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to
The
heal.
power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the
The
leper.
power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh
In the
Shai.
name of Yahweh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Blessings in the Hebrew. Barak atah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai?
Why Yahweh Shai?
Why Yakala?
Why Yakala?
Why Lahayim?
Why Lahayim?
Matazab Bayad.
Matazabiyah.
Alawak Yahana.
Alawap Yohana.
Ha Lawatiyim.
Ha Alawapim.
Ha Sarayim.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Quata Sayanyim.
Ha Quatazayanyam.
Ha Kaya Yanyim.
Ha Kayayanyam.
Well Quatiyim.
Why Quatim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Duad Aman.
The water Aman. Prayer for the blessings in English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yahana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Anointing prayer in the Hebrew. Yabaraka Yahweh.
Yabaraka Yahweh.
Why Shamarka?
Washamarka.
Yar.
Yahar.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Pinyawa.
Penyawa.
Ayaka.
Alika.
Wayakanka.
Wayakanka.
Yashar.
Yashar.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Pinyawa.
Penyawa.
Ayaka.
Alika.
Wayasham.
Wayasham.
Nakat.
Lakat.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Barak.
Barak.
Rapat.
Rapat.
Magun.
Magun.
Hagun.
Hagun. The Wright family.
The Wright family.
The Jones family.
The Jones family.
The Huey family.
The Huey family.
The Jordan family.
The Jordan family.
The Blakely family.
The Blakely family.
All of the Stewart of Israel.
All the Stewart of Israel. The Gale family.
The Gale family.
The Townsend family.
The Townsend family.
The Claiborne family.
The Claiborne family.
The Morgan
The
family.
Morgan family.
The Menonado
The
family.
Mananawa family.
The Montoya
The
family.
Montoya family.
And all the Stewart of
All
Israel.
of the Stewart of Israel.
Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
Duad Aman.
The water Amen. In the English, Yahweh bless thee and keep thee.
Yahweh bless thee and keep thee.
Yahweh make his face shine upon thee
Yahweh make his face shine upon thee.
and be gracious unto thee.
And be gracious unto thee.
Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee
Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee.
and give thee peace.
And give thee peace.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahweh
In
Shai,
the name of Yahweh Shai.
bless,
Bless.
heal,
Heal.
shield,
Shield.
protect.
Protect.
ISUPK curses. Curses? Oh, hold on one second. ISUPK curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth.
and all things living.
And all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahweh
In the
Shai,
name of Yahweh Shai.
listen to us now,
Listen to us now.
right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses
Send evils and curses.
and punishment and destruction
And punishment and destruction.
to the heathen
To the heathen.
that speak against us,
That speak against us.
thy prophets,
Thy prophets.
the teachers,
The teachers.
the princes,
The princes.
the priests,
The priests.
the Israelite brothers,
The Israelite brothers.
and the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses
Send evils and curses.
and punishment and destruction
And punishment and destruction.
to the heathen,
To the heathen.
and shake loose the treasure
And shake loose the treasure.
of the rich of
Of
Israel
the rich of Israel.
that refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to get to the school.
Force their riches
Force their riches.
to enter into thy sanctuary.
Enter that sanctuary.
Send evils and curses
Send evils and curses.
and punishment and destruction
And punishment and destruction.
to the Edomites
To the Edomites.
and the nation
And the nation.
and their drug dealers,
Their drug
the
dealers.
court
The
system,
court
the
system.
prison
The
system,
prison system.
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood.
all the governments of our enemies,
All the governments are enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church.
the Pope,
The Pope.
Islam,
Islam.
Christianity,
Christianity.
Egyptology,
Egyptology.
militia,
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation,
Aryan Nation.
Skinhead,
Skinhead.
Posse Comitatus,
White Comitatus. misogyny,
the gay movement, the lesbian
the
movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
workers
of witchcraft,
of witchcraft,
NASA space program,
NASA space program,
Army,
Navy,
Air Force, Marines, Wall Street. Open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channel, and the radio channel. Convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us and bring swift destruction to all the heathens that stand in the way or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh shine. Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause to be known by all. There's the angels that have done it. Cause it be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you always. So be it.
Sir, which means to turn. Curse salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Amaju, Barat, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat. Yes, Matan. Curse salute to the sisters watching online, men of Israel, Madam Shabbat, Amaju, Barat, Yahweh Shemar Adathan by Shem Yahweh Shah. Yes, Matan. Class dismissed.